General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's parliamentary testimony, a day of revelations and procedural battles. On October 7, 2025, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, appeared before a parliamentary ad hoc committee, sparking a day filled with both procedural disputes and explosive allegations. The committee was convened to investigate claims of political interference and corruption within the South African Police Service, with Mkhwanazi as a central figure in these revelations. The day began with significant procedural disagreements that threatened to derail the proceedings. Advocate Norman Arendse, the evidence leader, presented a supplementary statement from General Mkhwanazi, which incorporated his previous testimony given to the Nhlanhla Commission. This approach aimed to avoid repetition, but it immediately drew strong objections from members of parliament. Julius Malema of the Economic Freedom Fighters vehemently argued that the parliamentary committee, as a distinct body, could not simply adopt evidence from a separate, executive-appointed commission. He insisted that Mkhwanazi needed to submit a new, original statement directly to the ad hoc committee for it to become official parliamentary property. An MK party member echoed these sentiments, describing the situation as an embarrassing start and calling for an adjournment to rectify the perceived procedural flaw. While the chairperson clarified that the document was considered the official statement for their proceedings, the debate underscored the political tensions surrounding the inquiry. Further procedural friction arose concerning the participation of Democratic Alliance MP Kohler Barnard. Objections were raised regarding her potential bias due to an accusation against her, leading to a significant debate. The DA was subsequently granted time to review her participation and report back to the committee the following day. Malema, in this context, questioned the committee's authority to remove members without specific rules being cited. Explosive allegations of corruption and interference. Despite the procedural skirmishes, General Mkhwanazi delivered what has been described as explosive testimony, exposing deep-seated issues within SAPS. His allegations primarily focused on the misuse of the SAPS secret fund, political cover-ups, and systemic efforts to undermine investigations into wrongdoing. One of Mkhwanazi's most startling claims involved the alleged use of the police's covert fund to construct a perimeter wall at the home of the late ambassador to France and former police minister, M.T.S. Mkhwanazi asserted that this was a tactic employed by crime intelligence members to divert funds, gain influence over the executive, and ultimately control ministers for illicit financial gain. He stated, "That was money from crime intelligence, nobody was held accountable, but reports are there." He further elaborated, "The minister at the time, M.T.S, never asked for that war, but this is how they operate, they use such projects to control the minister so they can later loot the funds." Mkhwanazi also highlighted significant internal divisions within SAPS, where officers who uncovered critical evidence in high-profile cases were reportedly sidelined, while those aligned with senior figures were rewarded. He cited the Lusikisiki massacre investigation as an example, noting that members who performed crucial work received no recognition, unlike those led by General Sibiya, who were rewarded. The commissioner also took aim at analyst Merida Haas, who had lodged complaints against his provincial KwaZulu-Natal task team, PKTT, challenging her to appear before the committee and labeling her a desktop researcher. In a revealing hint, Mkhwanazi indicated that individuals who previously obstructed his corruption probes are now under active investigation, with arrests and court appearances anticipated in the near future. How it started. It all began when the government appointed the Nhlanhla Commission to investigate growing concerns over alleged misconduct and governance failures in key state institutions. Before the commission's formal proceedings began, Mkhwanazi delivered a crucial briefing, outlining the scope of the inquiry, the reasons it was established, and the urgent need for accountability. His remarks set the stage for what would become a significant national investigation, paving the way for testimony, evidence gathering, and the eventual public hearings that followed. Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, delivered a series of explosive allegations during his 3-day testimony before the Nhlanhla Judicial Commission of Inquiry. This commission, informally known as the Commission of Inquiry into Criminality, Political Interference, and Corruption in the Criminal Justice System, was established to investigate claims of deep-seated corruption and political manipulation within South Africa's policing structures. Mkhwanazi's testimony, which largely rehashed and expanded upon allegations he had previously made public, implicated high-profile officials, business figures, and even journalists in a web of illicit activities. Purpose and structure of the Nhlanhla Commission. The Nhlanhla Commission's mandate is to investigate allegations that criminal syndicates, political actors, and corrupt officials have infiltrated the police service, undermining its integrity and effectiveness. Mkhwanazi's testimony marked the first phase of the inquiry, during which he was expected to fully explain his allegations and present supporting evidence. The commission was structured into 3 phases. Phase 1, testimony from Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, revisiting and elaborating on allegations he made on July 6. Phase 2, testimony from other implicated figures, including former Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu and Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. Phase 3, Mkhwanazi's return to respond to any new allegations arising from Phase 2. On the first day, Mkhwanazi reiterated his stance that the disbandment of a crucial task team was a wrongful decision. He alleged that former Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu, who has since been placed on special leave, received advice from individuals Mkhwanazi claims are part of a criminal syndicate operating in Gauteng. Mkhwanazi asserted he possessed proof to substantiate these claims. During the second day, Mkhwanazi introduced new names, including 2 members of parliament, Fadiel Adams of the Natal Coloured Congress and MP Kohler Barnard of the Democratic Alliance. He alleged that Fadiel Adams obtained classified crime intelligence information and publicly disclosed it, rather than reporting it through appropriate channels. Adams reportedly opened cases against individuals implicated in the intelligence report, including crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo. Mkhwanazi also named JMPD officer Johannes Mcgate, described as an associate of businessman turned underworld figure Katiso KT Molefe. Mkhwanazi claimed Mcgate used the JMPD's license plate recognition system to track police activities near Molefe's home and allegedly renewed Molefe's licenses in exchange for money. Another figure, Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim, was implicated in allegations that Vuzimuzi Ket Matlola contacted him to leverage his influence with Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu to prevent the cancellation of Matlola's R360 million police contract, which was central to a major investigation. More to follow.